976-90.
Hello, Jan. Good to see you here. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 here Monday night. How was your weekend? Janet says hi, Ron. So, Janet, I'm gonna go ahead and say the pledge and do the music, and maybe some other people will come on right now. You're the lone star. There we go. Sandra came on. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take free. Forget to me. Next to you, and if it hurts you today, then I say you. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we see. And I'll forget. To you, and it can hurt still today. God, stay us. God bless us too. It's to you, and if it hurts today, there ain't no doubt. See you. 7
Well, look at that. Look at that. I go and say the pledge and I play the music, and Janet just went out and recruited all kind of people to come in and be on tonight's show. Yes. So anyway, guys, before I start the kids segment, I want to let them know that this show is not meant for you. Truthfully, you're not supposed to watch it unless you have the okay and permission from your parents, grandparents, or some kind of legal guardian. The music we play on the show tonight, we have absolutely no right to. We have absolutely nothing that belongs to us. We do it for entertainment purposes only. It's kind of become a theme song of ours, and that's why we play it. Now, I wanted to say this before I started talking to the kids, and I wanted to talk about the music before, because just when you think Guys, I want you to take a second and listen to what I'm going to say. And I didn't mean to do that purposely. I know that's supposed to mean something bad. It's just something I do. Hell, I did. Hell, I didn't even know what it meant. I still don't really, because the people that told me, I didn't really have a whole lot of faith and trust in them. I mean, I could have sat here and picked my nose, and they'd have told me I was doing something illegal, something satanic in that. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So he was saying, just when you think things, we have to cross the finish line because people are getting stupid, stupid. You know, it's one thing when someone's stupid, when they get stupid, stupid. But the thing of it is, they get stupid, stupid in a way that they don't have the things downstairs to take credit for saying something, to stand up and
If tomorrow
oh wow. But anyway, what I'm saying here, guys, is boy, this phone is just acting up. What I'm saying is I got an email the other day. I don't call anybody stupid, but this email was stupid because they said to me, you forgot to tell the people about the kids not being made for them. No, I went back and watched the video. I told them. They said, you forgot to tell that you have no legal rights to the other part. I said, nope. I went back and checked and I did okay. Where I'm going with the stupid statement here, they then said to me, you never say anything about saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. You don't say that you have no legal rights to say that. I didn't think I had to. I thought living in the United States of America, you know, going to school here, doing everything here and believing in my country, doing everything I can to make America the greatest country in the world. Not to make America great again. We're already great. We've never left the greatness, even with the stupidity of the people that we had running it for years. I didn't think that I had to say something that I say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody because I don't care a rat's patoot. If it offends somebody, too bad, you're on the wrong show because we're about family, we're about friendship, and we're about America. And then we take care of the other countries. But I thought to myself, you've got to be kidding me. You can't be truthful saying something like that. But they did. They literally did. And it just, to say it was funny, yes, but I just had to start to show up. So now I'm going to talk to little Jimmy and hopefully he's having a good week. And, you know, I know he's homeschooled, but you know, the question I've always wondered, and you know, Janet, was that Beth Shaw, Betty Woods, all right. Lynn, Ron's here. The question I've always asked, I have 4 kids, 4 grandkids that's going to school. The 5th one will start preschool the 6th of January at 3 years old. Boy, talk about a long life of school. Man. Here's the thing. Uh, if you go to school, they're on vacation. They're on Christmas vacation. They don't go back until the Tuesday or Wednesday after New Year's. They get a nice vacation. My question is, if you're being homeschooled, do you get the Christmas vacation too, or do you have to keep going to school? So, Jimmy, I know that you're being homeschooled. So, if you wouldn't mind answering my question, I'm serious about this because I don't know. But you know, in our on our Telegram page, if you could just put up there, hey Patriot 5 or hey Ralph or whatever you want to call me. Who?
When we used to do the papers, that one kid from Bradley said,
Oh, Ron said that when we used to do the to work for the Journal that some kid told us, but I had forgot about it. But I'm giving you that assignment, Jimmy, or anybody else that's homeschooled. Please post on our Telegram page and let me know. I would think you would. Wouldn't be fair. So that being said, I hope you're doing good, Jimmy. Patriot 11. I'm glad Grandma sent me a message and let me know everything's good. I plan on sending her a Merry Christmas little message, and she can forward it to you. Patriot Wyatt Earp and Karate Kid. I really wish you'd have Mom send me a message, or you send me a message and let me know. Are you still doing the karate, young man? Maybe you've grown up a little bit and you don't like that Patriot name. Maybe you want something else. Maybe you want, I like girls. I don't know. I'm reaching here, guys. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Your story's still living. It's still being told. Patriot Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. I still say Mama has to get another B in there. There was a Jackson 4, so we don't want the 4 Bs. We want the 5 Bs, led by Boogie, or Boogs. Boogs is the oldest, right? Is that right, John? Boogs is the oldest. You on, John? Oh, where can my John be? Oh, that's should sing that too. So other people might take that wrong. Okay. Yeah. Ron said our John used to be outside. Which kids, it brings me to a funny story about our John being outside. The other day, me and Ron signing up for some new phones at Verizon. And there's this guy in there, and he's older. He looked about 20 years older than me, even though he was 7 years younger. And I mean, I had to show the people in there that I was my age. And when when this man said how old he was to them, when he left, they looked at me and said, "Really?" But anyway, he's telling us about how rough he had it. And I looked at him, I said, "Dude, I lived in a house. We didn't even have an indoor toilet until I was going into the 7th grade." But see, I always thought that I was hit hard because I didn't have an inside toilet till I was going into the 7th grade. Ron didn't have one until he went to the military. Russ didn't have one till he went to the military. Then they sent him to Vietnam and he had to start digging them again. For people who've never dug a crapper hole, it's not fun, especially when you're trying to move the building from one to another. Boy, we had Stanley Page, and I swear he'd come out and help us move that shit. I think he liked to play in a crap, man. He fell in all the time up Disney, and then we have to take him and didn't even have a hose. We just had filled water buckets and water outside. So we just water bucket and threw on got that crap off of him. Someone was saying, well, my grandson today, Patriot Small Hank went to town with me today. We finished up some things and he went to town with me. Had a great time. He come down to Uncle Ron's and Uncle Ron gave him $5. He's going to buy a toy. And when he bought the toy, I said, just put it in my cart. I'll pick it up for you. He's, well, Grandpa Hank, I'm hungry. Now he's hungry. This kid had corn dogs, 2 corn dogs for dinner. He came down here and he had a super-sized hot dog and Fritos for lunch with me and Uncle Ron. I bought him a bag of the little mini chocolate donuts. He ate all of them but one. He gave one to Uncle Ron. No, he ate the other one. He didn't take it to Kira. And I mean, he had a great day, but it just, he looked at me and he says, Grandpa Hank. And I said, what do you need, dude? He says, when you was my age, what games did you like to play on the internet? The inner what? The inner what? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, dude, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have computers. We didn't have laptops. We didn't have tablets. You know what our form of communication was? What? And I said, you know the house that's right across the street from us? Yeah. I said, if we didn't want to use our phone on the wall, I'd go to my front door. My best friend Terry Shover would go to his front door, and there was a house in between us, and we'd yell at each other and tell each other what we were going to do and where we wanted to meet. What? You had to do that? You didn't have TV? We finally had TV. We were one of the last people in Buckingham to get TV. But then Ron, being a little older before he goes to the military, he got a job. And with that job, not only did we get a color TV, we was first town house in Buckingham that had color TV. Kids, listen to this. I can remember, you know how you want to watch something, you watch anything you want. Anywhere around the world. You have so many channels, especially if you
And it's super duper.
but we had a tower antenna. But before we got the tower antenna, we just had a pole with the antenna sitting up there. It was a good antenna. But we like Illinois football and basketball. Out of Champaign, down south. WCIA. Champaign. So in order to watch it, we would have to take our pliers, our big, them, whatever they're called, they're like, big vice grip type deal. And we'd have to go out there and we'd have to turn our pole so our antenna was reaching down, looking right at Champaign. And then we'd get channel 3, WCIA, in crystal clear. And then when we were done, we couldn't let mom and dad know we did that. We'd get in trouble. Even though Ron bought the antenna, the pole, we'd get in trouble. So we'd have to go out, we'd have to aim it towards Chicago, because in the Windy City is where we were getting stuff. We got 2, 5, 7, and 9. There wasn't no 32 back there. Every now and then we get channel 11. All that was garbage. So when you guys have all this stuff, we never had it. But boy, was we happy. You know what I mean? Patriot Princess, our queen, Patriot Hunter, her good-looking brother. You know what when you're happy, if you're happy and clap your hands, you know. Oh, and I'm gonna. You heard me sing, guys. I got to talk about singing a little bit later. Why did you guys post that? But anyway, we'll get into that. Patriot Little Leona and Patriot Leylon. I'm getting pictures from Leylon now because Grandma's following me on TikTok. Finally someone on TikTok that isn't saying, "Hey, honey, let's go someplace else and talk. Hey, honey, you looking for a girlfriend? I'm number one girlfriend. Hey, honey, I don't want a girlfriend. I got a girlfriend. Maybe she's not around, but I have someone that I care for that I write. Oh, no, honey, me do you real good. Me, good girl. I looking for hubby." Well, you're looking in the wrong store. I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of people. Just, I'm sorry. TikTok to me, I belong to it because Patriot, Savior, other people, they're literally sending me stuff from TikTok. So I want to see what they're sending, and you have to belong to it to open it up. But man, when hey, honey, you want to go to Telegram and talk? We can exchange pictures. No, don't need no pictures. You got a picture here. You're a nice looking girl. I hope you find the love of your life. Hey, honey. I got to get off of that kick. But then there's Patriot Super Gymnast. I took my 5 grandkids last night to Monaco's for pizza. My son said, "Take them to Monaco's, Dad. You can get the family pleaser for $23 if you have the coupon. You get the coupon when you download the app." I said, "Okay, $23. Everybody gets a drink. Everybody, you get the pizza, a big salad, and then I bought them some breadsticks. $23." I said, "Well, that's not bad. Feeding 6 of us. We get the pizza. We'll order the breadsticks." I ordered 15 because I knew my little man, Patriot 7, this kid's an eating machine. We're taking him out for burgers about this big on on Wednesday. And I'm telling you, this little guy will down two of them with no problem. And probably look over at me while I'm still eating my first one and say, "You gonna eat all that?" What? Well, we're doing this early. I'm not going to Amber's Wednesday night. We will do a show Wednesday. What time? I don't know, guys, because I don't know if I want to keep you guys hung up on Christmas Eve. But anyway, we might have good news by then because there is some things going on that I do want to share. But $23 for the pizza, drinks. So I get the 15 breadsticks. They're supposed to be $4.99 or $7.99 for 10, $4.99 for 5 more. So with that, 5 and 8, $13. It took it at $36. She brings me the bill. I hand her my debit card and she takes it and she brings it back and I'm paid. And I'm walking out and I'm thinking, I left her a $10 tip. We cleaned the table up because my grandkids were messy. We're standing there because I wanted all the kids to go to the bathroom because not only was I taking them out for pizza, then we were going to go driving all over for the next 3 hours looking at Christmas lights. And as they're all in there going to the bathroom, the 3 girls, I opened the girls' bathroom, make sure there was nobody in there. And I said, okay, go in there. The 2 boys, everything was good. They went in there. I thought, let me look at the bill and see how much it was. $51.72. Like, wow. I thought, well, maybe they added a tip and they didn't. And they explained it to me 4 times. Couldn't explain it to me right, but it was already paid and it's Christmas time, so I wasn't going to argue. And I wasn't going to argue because the girl, she talked to me like I'm looking at me here, but she thought it was over here or maybe up there. She was kind of do 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 do, you know what I mean? But kids, you get things like that. It was a great night with my grandkids, so the money's just money. It's over, it's done. There's nothing I can do. I just come home, got some more from Ron. No, it just we had a great time, and I can't say the next part because I could get in trouble. Not here, but elsewhere. But Patriot super gymnast, she sat in the front seat some and she took some pictures for me and I let the kids switch off and on who got to sit in the front. The 2 little ones, they had to sit in their car seats, but at least we talked Kira's mom, my daughter-in-law, into letting them sit where she could see and not she's 3 years old and she still got her face in the back. And I'm thinking, it's a mom thing that she's got the power to do it. And my son won't stand up to her, so that's what happened. But anyway, you know, I'm telling you, Patriot 7, when we had them breadsticks, it's 2.5 apiece. Boom, 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 boom. I said, here's your half one. He didn't even eat a half one, and he's got 2 and 4 pieces of pizza ate. Whoa. Pretty cool. Patriot Small Hank's over there and just being goofy is good. And see, the thing of it is, Patriot Small Hank has this little disorder that if he forgets to take his medicine, he talks like this. And when you're in a restaurant, there's not a whole lot of people, and he's talking. You see what I mean? And I had to tell him 100 times. Patriot, little monkey, she was very special last night because see, Patriot Super Gymnast had her concert, remember the other night, and I went to it. And when her part was done, I went out, stood in the hallway with my daughter and son-in-law and the 2 little kids, and I got out of there quick because she was done, and that place was standing room only, and it was hot. But the little monkey ignored me, didn't have nothing to do with me. She was hungry and angry, so you got that 2 combination going, hungry, angry, and tired. So I looked at her last night and I said, you broke my heart. You wouldn't even talk to me. And I'm telling you, she made the rest of the night, went the rest of the night trying to make up to grandpa. And I said, well, you don't, it's fine. I said, you're going to go through nights like that. And then little Kira, she is 3 going on 30. But it's the kids tonight, and that's the version of it. I don't want to keep lingering on, but that, I love the kids part because the fact that they do listen, the fact that they are here for us, and let's face it, what better time of year for kids than right now? They're out of school. You know, we was making our rounds all around, and we stopped here in Buckingham at Uncle Ron's house. And they all come in and visited Uncle Ron and made his night. I was able to let my little dog out and then take him home and let him play over at my daughter's house for a while. Because truthfully, the 2 little ones, they're constantly just on the go. Their mom runs all the time. Their dad, I mean, they're not home much at all, but it is what it is, and you just gotta move on with it. So that concludes tonight's version. As I've already told you, kids, this video is not made for you, but you can watch it under the discretion of your parents, godparents, grandparents, legal guardians, whatever. Heck, if you asked me for permission, I'd give it to you. So where are we now? We're cleaning up aisles 18, 24, and 73. No, just joking. Um, um, I do have something I want to read here of where we're at that you might find interesting. I did. I liked it, and I want to see if I can pull it up here real quick. Um, First of all, I want to read this. The Department of Homeland Security will offer illegal immigrants $3,000 if they voluntarily self-deport by 2026. That came from the USA Today. I don't understand why we're doing that. God never confined himself to a nation, a temple, or a church building. He chose as a human heart his dwelling place. There was a poll taken by Larry. Your thoughts on wealth transfer and RV? We are being played. It's not going to happen. It will happen before the end of 2025, or it might happen July 4th, 2026. 25% went to we are being played, not happening. 38%, it will happen before the end of 2025. And 37%, it might happen July 4th, 2026. And I thought it was a fair survey. But the only thing I didn't like about it is I bust my butt and Ron busts his butt to try to keep vibrations up. And one of the places we do it is on our Telegram site. And it's a good thing. But when I look at it, and 37% think it might happen by July 4th, 25% says it won't happen at all. But 38% said it will happen before the end of the year. I knew the thing I wanted to read, I would not be able to say. But there was something I wanted to read, but this is something I read to Ron last night, and this is on our Telegram site, guys. This is about a lady. And you might as well call her a humanitarian lady for what she did. This was posted by Ace, forwarded from Linda Forsyth. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m., my mother calls the same wrong number. Has for 6 years. Hello, this is Susan. Is Robert there? Same response every time. No, Robert here. Wrong number. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Then she hangs up, sets a reminder for next Tuesday. I thought it was Demetria, mom's 71, maybe forgetting she'd already tried this number. Mom, that's not Robert's number. You've called it 300 times. Why do you keep calling? She looked at me strangely. I know it's not Robert's number. Then why, Mom? Because someone answers. Great answer, isn't it? Turned out the woman who answers is 83 years old, lives alone, has several social anxiety, never leaves her apartment, no family, no friends. 6 years ago, I called your brother's old number by mistake, Mom explained. Woman answered. We talked for 2 minutes. When I apologized for the wrong number, she said, please call again anyway. Nobody calls me. So you just kept calling. Every Tuesday, we talk for exactly 12 minutes about nothing, weather, TV shows, her cat. Then I say, I have to go. And she says, okay. For 6 years, does she know you're calling on purpose? Of course, I'm not subtle, but we remain the fiction. I accidentally call. She happens to answer. We pretend it's chance, not choice. Why the pretend? Because accepting help is hard. Accepting a woman's wrong number is easy. Mom's phone buzzed Tuesday, 3 p.m. reminder. She dialed, hello, is Susan? This is Susan. Is Robert there? A pause, then laughter. No, Robert here. Susan, but I'm here. How was your week? I listened to them talk about the weather, a TV show, the cat's vet appointment. 12 minutes exactly, then I should let you go. Okay, Susan, same time next week. Oh, I'm sure I'll accidentally dial this number again. More laughter. Goodbye. Mom hung up, looked at me. Her name is Dorothy. I've never met her, don't know her last name, don't know her address, just her voice. Every Tuesday for 12 minutes. What if you stop calling? Then she stops having Tuesdays. Mom died last year. Suddenly, heart attack. I found Dorothy's number in phone, called it. Hello. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm Susan's daughter. I think you were expecting her to call today. Silence, then crying. She's gone, isn't she? Yes, I'm sorry. Can I ask you something? Did you ever tell her why she really called? She said you needed someone to call. That's what she told you? But I'm calling to tell you why I answered, because your mother's voice on Tuesday was the only thing that kept me alive. I had the pills ready 4 times, 4 different Tuesdays, and every time at 3 p.m., she called and I couldn't do it after hearing her voice. I've been calling Dorothy every Tuesday for 9 months now. Same time, same wrong number, fiction, because my mother taught me sometimes the most important call you make is the wrong person. On purpose every Tuesday for as long as someone answers. Let this story reach more hearts. Guys, I've read that 5 times. I wanted to prepare myself. I couldn't do it. I still got teary eyed. Does anybody here have a person like that? Does anybody here have someone that they call just because it's the right thing to do? I'm trying to get my emotions back in shape. Okay. Anyway. Here's another one that can kind of get you the wrong way, but it's something I think we need to hear. In a few days from now will be Christmas. When you're at your grandpa's, mom, or your dad, sit your phone down and spend time with them. In a few years, you will wish you could. Does anybody else have that? One more Christmas with their mom, their dad? I know I do. I even answered that when my parents were still alive. We didn't have phones, we didn't have computers, we didn't have tablets. When we were together on Christmas, the tree is a family matter. We could rent a school, and we had a gymnasium full of family, not just our family, but others people's family. We played basketball, we played cards, we just did things together, but we always did them with our mom and dad. So now I got to go back to another place here. Bear with me. TNT Tony, December 22nd, 2025, notes by Ginger Ducat. Tony says banks have been told they're working Christmas Day. They get triple time for this. The rates were released to the banks on Friday, and they expected us to go on Saturday. They had a meeting on Friday, decided to do a holiday release. The hat wanted to give out Christmas present. The release date is supposed to be December 23. They were going to do it on Christmas Day, but it fell back to the 23rd. Tony says it's supposed to start tomorrow. The 800 number is released this evening. Tony will have another call this evening. They have to be in the bank at 7 a.m. Everyone is saying this is finally it. Everyone needs the money. The European Union, China, Iraq. Tony, this is going to be great again. Not everyone will get millions. Not everyone will get billions. Those who get less have to be extremely careful with their money, or they will be broke in 6 months. I thought that was one of the best posts I've seen. It gives people the opportunity to get up sky high. It gives people the opportunity to think, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I love Christmas, but if I can go to the Redemption Center on Christmas, see ya, I'm gone. I want this to happen. Huh? What a Christmas present, as Ron said. But the only thing I didn't agree with, and I am aggravated, I am frustrated, and I'm a little bit, that stuff that you trinkle down your leg sometimes when you got to go bad. I'm that way off because not everyone is going to get millions or billions. Well, sure, there's some people ain't going to get any from there, but they're not going to be broke in 6 months because there's so many other ways to get money. Tony sometimes can be amazing, but then he arrogant. Yes, he's always that, but he can be really an amazing man, and then turn around and just go right down that outside toilet, like moving the outside toilet and falling in, and he's done it. But I hope he has another call tonight. I hope we get these numbers because, guys, we are so close, so amazingly close. As I can say, just get her done. Like I said, guys, I don't have a whole lot. I'm not going to go out there and tell you this and this and this. just to get you guys up. I laugh with you, I joke with you, I try to tell stupid jokes with you.
Yeah. What's the score? You see it?
Yeah, it's 27-18, Illinois. So here's the Restored Republic. I heard it was good. I wanted to watch, listen to it, but I was watching Small Hank today, and when that kid gets talking, he does not know how to shut up. And he talks stuff that I don't understand. So I talked to my son, his dad, and he said, Dad, when I don't understand him, I just sit there and yeah, yeah. I mean, he's intelligent. And one of these days he's going to put it all together. And I'm not bragging him because he's my grandson, but he's going to be a genius. Restored Republic via the GCR update as of Monday, 22nd. Oh, today's my ex-sister-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday, Holly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Holly. Happy birthday to you. Up in heaven. Died way too young. Winning the war of God against evil, historic treaty by 209 nations that redefined global currency being implemented, put in, and the hat in direct communication for the past. Whoa, this is something I'll tell Julia tonight. They've been in direct communication for the last 10 hours. Judy note on this Sunday, 21st December 2025, JFK Jr. announced on Telegram, I'm coming home. I've done my time. That's one of the things I'm going to have them do to me on the bed. I love music. I'm going to see if they can give me a voice that I can sing. You know, when I write Julia letters, man, I'm always writing just little things of one line letter of music and that. I'll put them together. I'll put like 8 or 9 songs, one line in it, make it a whole thing. No, I ain't gonna be like the Sadler brothers. Well, no. But no, I mean, she thinks I'm the greatest singer in the world, and guys, I can't carry a tune to save my rear end. JFK Jr. was finally making himself known because he was the leader of the Q movement, which was finally implementing the global reset of 209 nations. Doing so would win the war between good and evil, demolish the deep state cabal, red mafia, and give the people's money back to the people. Yes. Now that President the Hat Green light has accelerated the greatest wealth of transfer in history, redistributing reclaimed assets from cabal controlled and people through the secure quantum accounts, ending the era of fiat oppression and ushering in abundance. The global currency reset progresses within the quantum financial system, QFS, with notifications, exchanges, and payouts expected imminently as gold backed currencies fully activated. Big N, Big G protocols were inactive, complete debt forgiveness for mortgages, loans, credit cards, and all burdens of the old system of debt jubilee that restored financial freedom. Restitution and prosperity funds flow forth, with humanitarian projects receiving unprecedented support to heal nations and communities. Special beds were being deployed worldwide from secure locations, offering miraculous restoration of health, reversal of aging, and renewal for the afflicted, including rescued children and those long in suffering. Now, that being said, do not be scammed, guys. And what I mean by that, the hat has about 5 videos out there that are definitely, from what I'm being told, AI. He's got the video out there where he's talking these special beds. They are going in. They're all over the United States. They're run by the military. They're all over this. They're all over that. And they just keep going on and promoting them. He will be releasing them the first of the year. The very first day of the year is when. Now, that is not AI from what I'm being told, but the AI part comes in because that's who we got here. Sandra, John, Broken Project, and Golden Arrow right there together. Larry Smith. What I'm trying to say here is, I forgot. No, he's got all of these. They've got all these AIs out there. They're the greatest things in the world. They're doing this. They're doing that. But then he says, and it's time now to apply for your special bed card. No, you don't need a special bed card. It's one of those things like you're fishing and you have that fish until you just get it almost on shore, and then it flops one more time and boom, it's gone. It's like Tony tonight in what I read. Great post, exciting post, an amazing post. And then he said, but for those who won't get the lot of millions and the billions, you have to be careful or you'll be broke. You're not going to be broke. Listen to what they say. Listen, do I do? Do you want to know a secret? Do I do? I'm not going to whisper it in your ear, but here's the secret. Everybody's going to get money. Guys, it's going to get to a point you'll have money. You'll have money coming up at your wazoo, out your ears. You'll have money everywhere. But it's going to be at a point people, you want something in the store, you go get it. Or you go to your replicator. These heavenly technologies mark the transition to age physically, spiritually wholesome, and worldwide liberation from, I don't know, scarcity and illness drew near. President the Hat has also given the green light for the global military alliance to take over major fake news. Oh, yes. Thumbs up. Give me a lot of thumbs up for getting rid of mainstream media news. Take over major fake news media outlets and execute mass arrests of deep state operatives worldwide. This marked culmination of the storm of military special forces, dismantled remaining global networks, and conducted tribunals on those responsible for decades of global tyranny and corruption. Military warriors continue to rescue blah, 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 children from underground facilities, and another with a bunch of things, operations bringing thousands more into safety and healing. What? The emergency broadcast system, EBS activation drew near with a worldwide blackout necessary to shield the public during these final takedowns and exposure. Project Odin would sever cabal communications, ushering in the 10 days of darkness where truth of a lot of satanic and all that rituals and elite betrayals will be revealed without interference. Martial law would support these righteous operations as the corrupt mainstream media collapse. Please pray for the alliance and rescue children. You would be wise to be prepared with essentials as a final battle for the humanitarian freedom was upon us. Now, guys, is a good time. You might want to contact soon. I'm sorry. Just had to say that one time. No, that was a good one because Ron's still. Oh, Wednesday, 24th December through the 26th of December, federal operations closed in a 5-day reset window. Well, how are we going to go if it's closed? Guys, it's getting gooder. Thursday, 1 January, 26, 2026 start of the worldwide fiscal year for the new global asset-backed global financial system. Emergency Intel Christmas shutdown signals a strategic pause starting on Wednesday, 24th December through Friday, 26th December. The MAGA King on Telegram. President The Hat has signed an executive order closing federal operations for 5 consecutive days. The shutdown creates a rare window where civilian systems slow down at once. Agencies that normally overlap buffer and obscure movement of temporarily quiet. The silence matters when administrative layers step back. Operational clarity increases. It is a reset window, not a retreat, a pause that allows alignment before the next phase begins. The Hat returns to the White House, has not followed conventional rhythm while public narratives focus on politics and optics, decisions, point, and logistics. This order lands precisely when technologically low. Okay. A lot of this now I've already read. What do we think? We know as of Monday, 22nd December 2025, Sunday, 21 December 2025. Put in and the Hat have been in direct communications for the past 10 hours. Whatever they're preparing, it wasn't meant to be seen. Ariel on Telegram. Well, you know what they're preparing? They're preparing to say it's over. And I really wish I could hear that and get a quote of that before I write a certain beautiful little blonde tonight, because I tell you they're going through so much crap right now over there. But they did have on the 19th Nicholas Day where they put candy in the kids' shoes and boots, and they had a good day. Other than the fact that one of the kids that they were doing it for, Julia, and her best friend Masha's son was having a sore throat, but he still enjoyed St. Nicholas Day. Sunday, 21st December 2025, Fox News House Oversight Committee issues subpoena to Tim Walz. He must testify on Rod's widespread Somali fraud or face consequences to if he refuses. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that man, not him in particular, but I'm going to tell you right now, that man is married. And there's a saying that my mom used to say, if people think you're stupid, don't open your mouth and prove it right. And I would really like to pass that information on to that man and his wife. They need to just keep their mouths shut, because when they open, stupidity runs rampant. And to think there was actually millions of people in this country. Well, there might not have been. There might have been millions of just people that they wrote their names in there. There might not have been anybody that actually voted for that man. You have to keep the things straight. Sunday, 21 December 2025, the Epi files haven't been made public yet because they're not legal evidence. They're also political leverage. EBS system on Telegram. Sunday, 21st, December 2025, the Hat has green light the activation of the U.S. Treasury new U.S. note by Wednesday, 15th January 2026. This marks down the dawn of monumental financial reset. Now, I'm tell you a little bit about the new currency. I was in Wally World today, and in Wally World, they have this bank, and it's a well-known bank. And I walked up and I said, they said, sir, would you like to open an account? I said, well, I wouldn't mind it, but I need you to tell me something first. They said, what would you like to know, sir? I said, do you have any of the new currency? What new currency would that be, sir? I said, nope, I don't want to open a new account. And they said, well, why is that? I said, are you basal qualified? Ready to go. And they said, sir, what is that? And I said, nope, I don't want to open a new account, because I'm going to tell you right now, the two questions I just asked, if you're playing dumb, you're doing an excellent job. If you really are dumb and don't know nothing about it, this bank ain't going to be open by the January 1st. And they looked at me and said, I'm going to lose my job. I said, you need to do some research on what I just asked you. And you better tell your boss, he better get her done because I don't think it's going to matter now because if you ain't there, you ain't going to be there. It's nice to do something like that. And I didn't ruin someone's Christmas. I just told them they was going to be without a job in the new year. So here's what's happening next. The Admirals Group and Tier 4B Internet Group. The Shotgun Start will roll out in 48 hours. Immediate groups, CM KX farm claims payments align with bondholders. Now I was on one of the sites last night. It's one of the sites that Wolverine uses. And if you guys know Wolvie for a long time promoted Yellow Dragon bonds. And I wanted to get some from him, but I didn't have any way to get in touch with Wolvie. Because he's one of these guys that you can't write on his site. And I even went on the other side that he's affiliated with Carpathia. And I said, Carpathia, could you have Wolverine get in touch with me? I'm Patriot 5. Could you have him get in touch with me? I'd like to get some Yellow Dragon bond. Never heard nothing. It's like they think their crap don't stink. I bet it does. But anyway, so I went out and I bought my own. And I bought some more. And I bought some more. And then I got contact from this guy that I bought from. And he said, Ralph, we're close. That's the exact words. Close, and I'm running a special deal. And I believe it was Mike Davis had bought a bunch. And I had to have more than Mike. I got to be better than Mike. Nobody in Chicago ever was. I got to be better than Mike. And I'm just joking, guys. And I bought a lot. So I was sitting here last night thinking, and I went on that site, where I can actually say something. I said, guys, you guys are talking about the bondholders going. You're talking about this going. Well, I know being a bondholder of Zim, I get to go with tier, 4B. I think that's us, right? I get to go with them. Bondholders, I hold a lot. Maybe not a lot like Wolvie had. I guess he bought them by the box loads. But I hold a lot. The extent of, really don't want to say, but more than that, if you take that times 6. And Walter Payton, greatest running back ever. I just can't take my Bears shirt off. They won yesterday. That they won the other day. They beat the Packers. And then Detroit loses last night, so we're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, but the Packers aren't. But I'm listening to the sport. I'm listening to the sports show today. And listening to it, the chances of winning the Super Bowl, the Packers have a lot better chance than we do. They're not giving us any chance at all. Can you believe it?
They lost both their quarterbacks. They ain't gonna have much of a chance.
Can you believe it? So I called this place and I said, wait a minute. This team that you're saying's got a good chance to win the Super Bowl. They haven't even qualified to win the playoffs, and they lost their number 1 and number 2 quarterback. They're going to have to go pick up a quarterback now. And I'm thinking to myself, wow.
Love gets over.
I'm thinking to myself, wow, what is going on? I truthfully don't know what's going on. And whoa. So one thing led to another, and another led to another. And, I'm having trouble with my phone right now, guys. So I can't get in it. I've been locked out of my phone. I don't know what's going on. It started acting up a little bit ago. So I'm going to end the show tonight because I didn't realize we was almost at an hour. But I don't come on here to blow smoke up people's Rectum Rockets. I come on here to try to get people to laugh, to try to make people feel good, to build your vibrations and your spirits up. And I hope I did a good job. Wednesday will be Christmas Eve. I'm planning on doing a show the same time. If I change, I will let you know, or if I don't do a show at all. But I mean, things are looking good that things could happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I come to you and talk to you and with nothing but love and respect for all of you. And we'll see you Wednesday night or maybe earlier if something happens. Good night. God bless. We love you all. I can't hear what you're saying.
You know,